Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a package opening video number 16, and what we're going to do is just a random surprise. I got these 4 packages here. We're going to open them up one by one. I have no idea what's in these. I have literally like a whole stack of things to go through. So I just picked 4 things randomly, and we're going to go through them. We're going to see what's in here, and we're going to discuss the prints that are enclosed. Hopefully there's some amazing stuff. We'll see. Let's get right to it. I'm going to start with this one on top. I have kind of pre-opened these a little bit, like just opening the end, so it'll be easier for us to get the items out. Again, no idea what's in these, so we'll have to just see together because I don't know. And I mean, I'm sure there's some great stuff. I'm really excited about some of the things that I have that are going to be opened up in the very near future. This is, I don't know. I am expecting some really cool Kyoka. I have a couple of Hirosaki Eiho pieces, which I'm really excited about. And some of them were a little bit expensive, but I hadn't really seen them before. This might be one of those because this book size is very unique and interesting. I'm not sure, though. I don't know what this is. We're going to find out together. And yeah, so here we have, this is a small book. Oh, actually, well, that's cool. There's actually a little bird on the side right there. Can you guys see that little bird? That's pretty cool. I do very much so like the covering of this book, but I don't know what it is. Oh, there's another bird on the back. We got 2 birds. Bird here, bird here. Okay. All right, let's open it up and see what we're dealing with. I don't know. Truly, I don't know. Oh, I see. It's taped. I was like, why isn't this opening? There's tape on it. Okay. But yeah, I am expecting some cool things. I have another book by the artist that features something. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's a woodblock print per se, like a Kuchi-e, or if it's something that's like, it's the artist Komura Settai. Komura Settai's art is often like part of the actual book itself. So this could be a Komura Settai book. Wow, it's very small. Let's zoom in a little, shall we? There we go. All right, so what we have here is a book, and oh, there you go, bam, right there, straight into the Komura Settai prints. Okay, so we have, what we're dealing with here is a book that features either 2 or 4. I think it's probably 2. I mean 4 rather. Well, I don't know. It depends how they come apart, I guess. But anyway, what we have here are some prints featuring the art of Komura Settai. Komura Settai is a very popular artist at the moment. I actually think that his work is really lovely. I only own a few pieces by Komura Settai. Actually, this is going to be the second piece, I believe, that I own by Komura Settai. And I believe there's two wood blocks, let's just say. There's one here, and on the back side there's another 2, and I believe that's it. The rest of the book has no other art. So anyway, what we're looking at here, and this is a very typical style of the way Komura Settai does his layouts. So we have a beauty, who's looking out of the, basically she's looking out of the window here, okay? In the background, we have a cityscape, which we see crossing over from both sides. So it's from here in the background crossing over to here. So we can see this is kind of like a continuation. Let me zoom this out just a tad. But we have a continuation of the scene between these 2 panels. This is very Komura Settai style. Now, I know that people do remove these from the book. I probably won't do that, at least not now. And yet, I do think these are so lovely they should be displayed. But how do you display a big chunky book like this? Like, it's not easy. So I think that in a situation like this where the book is not in perfect condition, although I do like the little birds, it probably makes sense just to remove these. I have seen them for sale separately like this. The prices are kind of all over the place for Komura Settai. So yeah, I don't have any idea what the value of this is. I didn't pay a ton of money for this book. I'm not sure exactly how much, but it wasn't like $500 or something. It was probably $100 or maybe $200, but not a ton. But I do think Komura Settai is a really solid investment, and if you can find nice pieces by Komura Settai that have wood blocks, especially if they're featuring a beauty or like an architecture, like he was very famous for beauties with architecture, and he was also very known for doing this sort of I don't know what you call it, his angles, like the way he did things. So you can see we have a shoji or a screen right here, right? So we have a screen here, and you can see there's a mirror behind right here. Now the question is this beauty looking into the mirror, or is she looking out the windows? I prefer to think that she's actually looking in this mirror. And this is the thing I love about Komura Settai's art, is that there are subtleties that you really have to pay attention to see. There are minor little small issues or small little, like, they're almost like gifts, like little Easter eggs, they call it when you're in movies. This is kind of like how I think about Komura Settai's art. I feel like there's a little Easter eggs around, and you got to kind of figure them out. To me, she does look like she's looking out the window, but if you look at the line of sight right here, it also goes straight into this mirror panel. But the other thing that was interesting about Komura Settai was that Komura Settai would do this hidden. He was very good about hiding parts of the scene behind things like walls and fences and buildings and so on. And here he's done it also, where he's hidden part of this mirror, and I love it. I think he does it to really good effect. Like, I think it's an amazing way to do um, print art. I love Komura Settai. Unfortunately, his work is usually very expensive and very hard to get. So even though this one is not in perfect condition, there's obviously a little condition here. I don't even know how people get these off of here. So yeah, the question is, how would you even display this? Do you cut the page off? And this one is fine. This one has just the see-through on the back here, and it just goes straight to the page. So that part's easy enough. But I don't know. People do it because I've seen them. There's a little separation right here at the very bottom. So maybe you could just, I don't know, but I don't know if nori paste was used. So I don't know how easy it would be to take this page off. Anyway, let's take a close look here. So we essentially have a beauty here who is either looking out the window or looking in the mirror. We don't know which. And in the background, we have this lovely sky blue. So it just really highlights the outline of her outfit. She's wearing a kimono with an obi on the back. She has these long sleeves, which we can see the little pink peeking out right here. Pink peeking out right here on the other side for the inner sleeve. Really beautiful. We come down to the bottom here, and there's a little bit of color peeking out. Oh, it's just white. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It looks planned to me, but I'm not actually sure if that's planned or if that's just missing paint. I don't know, actually. What do you guys think? I'll have to look up the original to see, but it looks planned to me. I'm just not sure. Um, in any event, so we have the beauty here. She's shown from the back. She does have hair clip and hair pins installed. Lovely. There's a tiny sliver right here. I'm guessing it's the moon. So it's like maybe dusk. So it's a little bit brighter on this side, a little bit darker on this side. So maybe it's dusk. I don't know. Hard to say. Um, Here we have a cityscape on this side. We have the mirror, like I said, a little bit of like, looks like makeup. There's like some makeup on the floor here, a little something here that would be part of putting on her makeup or putting on her clothes. There's a little table here with some drawers, done in black, so it's kind of a lacquer table. Really beautiful. And then the other thing we have is we have the cityscape in the back here, which is very nicely done. We see that he's included the characters. Oh, it's actually a boat. So actually it's a cityscape in the background here, and then we have a canal running here. So we have a couple of bridges, and then we have people in boats. I was going to say those shadows look a little long, but they're not shadows; they're actually boats. And then we have this lovely planter here with some nice floral arrangement going on, and it is nice. I do wish they had done this part in a different color. There were other choices. They could have gone with this peach color. They could have done red. They could have done anything else for the color of this little jug right here that the flowers are in. But it is what it is. I still love this piece. I guess this is a single print with two parts. So maybe it's like a miniature diptych, let's say. Let's see what else we have in this book. We do have a page design here, probably also designed by Komura Settai. We have this lovely title page, and it has this little bit of art at the top and at the bottom here. Whoops, sorry. So we have a little bit of art here. We have this central design motif in the center here. and a little bit of design here. Very pretty. It's also a woodblock print. You can see here, we can flip the page and see from the back, we can see the bleed through coming through. So we know this is a woodblock printed page as well. Edition wise, I have no idea what edition this book is. This could be the first edition or the 51st edition, as far as I know. Here we have another woodblock in the back. So yeah, I knew there was basically two diptychs here. So we have this one as well in the back. Another very lovely scene. Again, two parts of the same scene. Really something that Komura Settai was known for, and I really love his work for this reason. But we have essentially the side of a space. This looks like the indoor part of a space here. We have some sort of a panel, a sliding panel right here that connects these two spaces. And then we have a character here who's clearly outside. So we have a window, we have a beauty in the window, again, looking off into the distance. Not sure, there's some specks in the sky here, probably just supposed to be stars, maybe a moon, something like that. Could be fireflies, don't know. We have a lovely design motif with butterflies on this side, or moths. That's very nice right here. Again, the details that Komura Settai brings to the table, I think, it's like where Kyoka, was kind of known for doing details of the actual fashion. So like his details would be more fashiony. I think the details of Komura Settai actually lent themselves more towards architecture, internal fashion. Internal like in the house. Like fashion couches, chairs, the way things were laid out inside the home. Excuse me. So I think that was where Komura Settai excelled at. Now, he also did beautiful women and beautiful men, and he was very good at everything he did, honestly. I truly love his designs. But again, they're so expensive that they're very difficult to get regularly. But anyway, yeah, so this is another lovely design. We have a twin panel here. Again, I know people do remove these so they can be displayed. And honestly, I'm not totally against it. I don't know if this book has any great value. It's not in terrible condition, but it's not in great condition either. So the best thing about this book, as far as I'm concerned, is the woodblock prints by Komura Settai. Anyway, there you have it. I don't know if this is a signature or not. It does say, I think it is. I think his signature is here because it says Ga drawn by. So I'm sure it says Settai or Komura. I'm not sure which. Here in this little panel here. But yeah, just a really lovely design. Give you a little close-up here of the character there. Sorry, is that clear? And just a lovely, lovely color scheme. This bright yellow speaks of a light that's here somewhere. This lovely rust color. And again, we have a discarded fan on the floor here that's opened up, showing another floral display. Just really lovely. There's a thing right here. I'm not sure what it is, but it has like a piece of rope coming off or a piece of string. It's just lovely. It shows the internal aspects of a home, which I love this about Komura Settai. Anyway, that is going to be book number 1. Let's move on to book number 2 and see what else we have in store. Again, like I said, I'm not sure what any of these are, so I'm just going to go from one to the next, and we'll see what's up. Here is another one. No idea, so let's move straight into this. Give me just a second there. I went on a trip to Japan in January, which I think I already mentioned that in my last video. But, I didn't find as many things there as I would have liked. I would really have liked to have, it's like the way Japan's, as far as finding art in Japan, one might think, oh, it would be very easy. It is in a sense. You can certainly find more art available there as a general rule, just because, it is Japan and it's where these were all created. So, of course, there's going to be somewhat more availability, but also not in the sense that, there aren't the stores that sell them as like as their primary, like a store that's like an art gallery. Of course, they're going to have things, but they're going to be priced accordingly. They're going to be very expensive. The first time I went to Japan, and this is like 20 years ago, but the first time I went to Japan, I saw prints by Hiroshige, and this is before I knew anything about This is before I knew anything at all about woodblock prints. I knew nothing about them other than they were beautiful. But I saw them at a gallery, and the price was $40,000. You know, it was one of his more famous prints. I can't remember the design off the top of my head, what the name is, but it shows a large mountain in the background. It's very beautiful. It's a lovely print, and I'm sure that was a good example, although then I didn't know how to tell if it was even an original or a reprint. So, yeah. But anyway, in Japan, you can find things at art galleries, but they're going to be priced accordingly. If you're trying to find something that's a good deal, that's a different story. You have to find them in used bookstores, or if you go to like antiques stores or antiques sales, you know, like a flea market type thing, something like that. Anyway, I just wish I'd been able to find more. There's a bookstore area called Jimbocho. You can definitely go there and look around, and you certainly can find woodblocks there, but they're not always great quality at all. So it's not easy to find fantastic pieces for fantastic prices, even in an area that's designated as that. Okay, let's take a look at this book. No idea what this is or why I bought it. It clearly has a design on the front. I don't actually know what it is. It looks like a dyeing of fabric, maybe. But it's kind of a cool, interesting cover. It is got a signature at the bottom right here, although I don't know what it is. Or maybe this is a, you know what? These stamps are probably the stamps of the store, maybe. The rental store. So this might have come from a rental store. Okay, here we have a inside cover. This art looks like Kyoka, although I'm not sure if it is Kyoka, but it looks like Kyoka to me. I'm not sure. That face definitely looks like Kyoka, possibly. Let's see what we have here. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is Kyoka. Okay, great. All right, here we go. Jumping right into this one. Wow, I love this print. I don't have another copy of this print, even though I've tried to get it several times, but it has not been easy. It's escaped me many, many times. See, it is a rental stamp, because here's another stamp. Did they actually stamp the print? No, they didn't. Oh, I'm so happy they didn't do that. Gosh, so many places do it, and it just really sucks. Especially depending where they put the stamp, obviously. This store was kind enough not to stamp the artwork, but yeah, so many prints I've seen. Sorry, this is weird what I'm doing right here, but I'm trying to get this through here so we have a nice sort of like area to look at this print. Yeah, this is not very effective, actually. Let's try something else. Whoops, sorry. Let's try something else here. Anyway, what we have here is a print by Kaburaki Kyoka. This is actually, I believe this is the first print, color print anyway, that was ever produced by Kaburaki Kyoka. I believe it's from 1902. And it is an incredibly lovely print. I very much so love this. I'm glad I have a copy. This is the first copy I'll have of this print. You know, not easy to find. This print was available on eBay, you know, when I first started collecting. How many years ago was that? You know, when I first started collecting, like 15, 16 years ago, this print was available on eBay for around $300. And I remember thinking, wow, it's so expensive. There's bound to be another one. I'm certain I'll find another one at some point that's less expensive. And I have to say, honestly, I don't think I ever did. You know, I probably should have bought that original one. It was in good condition. And this one also seemingly is in pretty good condition. Let me zoom it out a teeny bit. Sorry, it's taking me a minute to get this settled, but I'm trying to have some aesthetic here for you guys so you can see what we're looking at clearly. So what we have here is a print by Kaburaki Kyoka. Clearly, this is almost certainly has to do with the new year, right? We have a rooster here. Whenever there's a rooster, it certainly almost always has to do with some New Year's that's going to be occurring. You know, so that's a fairly common theme, that you'll see a rooster, or you'll see you know, another zodiac animal. Oh, this one's actually open here. Well, that's good. That should make it easier for me to separate this later if I ever decide to, which I may or may not. Sometimes it's actually easy to get these to move. See, like this right here. Can you guys see how it's sort of parting ways right here? It doesn't actually take much sometimes. See how the paper is just parting right there? It's very lightly glued. Anyway, I at some point I may or may not. I don't mind. It's actually in pretty good shape, all things considered. Again, this print is 124 years old. So that's a pretty old design. So what we have here is a beauty. you know, Kyoka. This is the first print Kyoka made that was a Kuchi-e in color, as far as I know. But it's really beautiful. It has this beauty with this beautiful kimono that has like a washing tone of sort of like lavender and purple, and then offsetting with this lighter sort of pinkish whitish color. Super beautiful, really, really well done. The rooster is super detailed. Look at the details on the rooster. I mean, wow, just so nicely done, you know? Like he was going for an almost, it's not realism, but it certainly is a very well made rooster. Let's just say that. Like he didn't spare a lot of details on the rooster. He did a good job with the rooster. The beauty's face is excellent. There is some burnishing here in the hair, but it's not excessive. It's barely there. Same goes for this black here. I think that they did the burnishing, but their intent was not to make it shiny. So there's two types of burnishing I noticed. There's like a black matte burnishing, which doesn't really have as much shining to it, and then there's a shinier burnishing. Either this is the matte version, or it wasn't really intent to be that much. But there is a tiny bit here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a little bit of burnishing in the hair right here. It's, you know, it's not nothing really major, but it's nice. It's nice to see. One thing we can see, which I'll pick this up because I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see that the dress, the kimono, has the pattern? Gosh, hang on a minute. I can't even see it. Yeah, there. See that right there? See that stippling right there? So they did the blind printing here, and they did it throughout this whole piece. So all of the parts of this kimono have the blind printing, which gives it like a texture. So it has like a beautiful, actually it's very visible right here where this black has smeared a little bit. There's a bit of black paint right here, which I'm not sure if it was supposed to be there or not, but maybe not. And it looks like it is maybe transferred a little bit here, but you can very much so see the stippling of the blind printing. So this whole kimono area right here has that blind stippling in it, which is pretty cool, actually. I really like it, and this has done pretty good effect here. Sometimes it's not great. This one is done fairly well, and it's usually only visible when you're seeing it in person. You know, I've said very many times that I wish people had a chance to look at woodblock prints in person. We would have a lot more woodblock print collectors, I believe, if people could see them in person. Seeing them in person just makes all the difference with woodblock prints. I would say this design doesn't seem very long. You know, it's almost square. Like, actually, I bet it is square. This is a really rare format. I'm not sure if they were all like this. This one measures roughly like 8 3/4 by 10.5, but it's almost, you know, it's really almost square. Like it's a very unique sort of format. Usually they are more like 8.5 by 11. This one is more like 8.5 by 10.5, which is, you know, 8 3/4. I mean by 10.5, which is close to square. It's an interesting format anyway. So here we have a beauty in front of a seller, and it looks like they're probably selling calendars. So again, this goes along very well with our theme. We have the dice up here. I'm not sure why there's a die here. It must have something to do with the year. Let's see. We know this is 1902. I'm not sure there's a 3 and a 2 and a 1. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. But yeah, so we have a die here. I'm not sure how that plays into anything. But maybe the word "dai" in Japanese has something to do with roosters, or, you know, there's some kind of tie-in. I know sometimes there's like wordplay. If there is, I'm not aware of what it is. Hang on just a second. I noticed this is tilted just a tad the wrong way. There we go. That's better. So in any event, we have a beauty here. Again, she has a lovely hair piece. You know, this is Kaburaki Kyoka's, you know, his modus operandi was to have these things like this. But look at how nice the hair clip is in this one. It has a flower design, really lovely. We have another purple hair tie here, which kind of has a cloth connecting in here. But it's beautiful because the purple ties into the purple this really nicely. We have, again, the flower here is really lovely. I think that a botanist like my friend Ray could probably figure out what the flower is here. It could be, I don't know. It looks a little bit like a, I don't know. I won't even say. It does look like a lily, but I'm not sure. In any event, there's a flower here. We have the beauty who's looking intently down at this rooster, and the rooster looks super pissed off. Like the rooster's like, "What are you doing? Why are you touching on me?" You know? And she is definitely giving back some attitude. Like, I really love the face on this beauty because she looks like she's like, "Rooster, your days are numbered," or maybe it's, "Rooster, you got lucky because it's it's the year of the rooster, and I'm not going to have rooster for lunch because of this," or something. I don't know. There's definitely some kind of interplay going on between these two, the woman and this rooster. But anyway, in the background we have, well, let's finish talking about her. So she has a beautiful kimono. It has some kind of like a hay sort of design. You know, it's kind of like wheat or some sort of a plant that has long fronds, long leaves or fronds, sort of like, giving this effect of kind of like splaying out like this, which is really lovely. Then we have this inner area here, which I guess this is, I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure what we're seeing 100%. We have her arm is here, but we have something going on here. The bird is here. I don't know if this is the inside. I'm guessing this is the inside of the kimono, this dark area here with these kind of like lines, but I'm not sure. It definitely looks like it's going along somehow with the clothing. Actually, we see down here at the bottom that the gray is sort of the same. So I'm guessing this is like the inner kimono, but I'm not really sure how it plays together. We have this blue right here, which kind of goes together with what's in the back here. So we see that there's a connection between these two things, but I'm having a difficult time how this is laid out. So people who know more about kimonos probably could get a better idea of this. Unfortunately, kimonos are not really my area of expertise. So in any event, we have the beauty here, really lovely, nice obi with the black, but then it has this beautiful blue and light blue and white with the pops of red here and here. Just really lovely. And then in the background, we have all these calendars. So there are some woodblock prints on the wall. Now this would be a printer, so some publisher who's making woodblocks, they're making woodblock prints, and it looks like we have another woodblock print here. And then here we have a whole, like there's a string, and on them are hanged calendars for whatever the year is. I don't know if it's 1902, but 1902 is when this was made. Excuse me for a moment. So I know this was published in 1902. I mean, if it's not a reprint, which maybe it is. But anyway, the original. So then we have these calendars in the back, and each of the sheets has like a little design on it, which is really nice. Come down here. We have another woodblock print here with these kind of like shadow characters. They're kind of like, sometimes they were meant to be funny, where they would have shadows of things, and the shadows wouldn't line up exactly with what they were supposed to be. I thought those were pretty neat. But anyway, that kind of flows downward, so we have a really nice effect. I don't know about the dye. I'm not sure what this is all about. But anyway, we have this dye here, and then we have the flowing of this, which leads us to our central character of the beauty with the rooster. And then it flows through to this backside here, and then we have a couple other over here. We have a window frame up here, or a light box up here. And there's another light box in the corner here. A really lovely scene, a nice fully rendered scene. Now, one other thing that's really cool here, which a lot of people would not probably have seen or noticed maybe, is this signature at the bottom right here. This is an incredibly rare signature by Kyoka. I don't think I've ever seen another one. This little yellow seal here with the red in the middle is called a toshidama. It's like a good luck thing. And it was very popularly used with people in the Utagawa school. This is Utagawa Kunisada, Utagawa Toyokuni, Utagawa, etc., etc. There was lots of them. Kuniyoshi. There's a whole stream of them. And the question is, was Kyoka trained by somebody in that same school? Probably. I don't remember off the top of my head, but maybe he was trained by Yoshitoshi, who was Utagawa, because he was trained by Kuniyoshi. So I don't know, but anyway, I'm not sure what this means, but seeing this cartouche is lovely. Also, the signature is really interesting. Like this is even a signature that it's rarely seen. Like I don't think I've ever seen this signature outside of this single print. So this one design from 1902, which happens to be his first design, it has the Kyoka signature in the middle here, but it has this lovely Toshidama you know, cartouche here, which is just so cool. I really love this. That's one of the reasons I really wanted this print. I mean, aside from the beauty, which is lovely, of course, but I just really love it that it's the first print. It's the only print that I remember seeing anyway that has this Toshidama on it right here. It's just a really cool print. So I'll just leave it at that. I think it's a really great design. Super happy to have it in my collection. I probably will leave it in here. I'll look to see if this is meant to be here or not. If it's not meant to be here, I will try and remove this black splotch right here. But otherwise, it's lovely. The face probably needs a little bit of cleaning, which I could do fairly easily. We can't really see the background too much, unfortunately, because the book is still attached. So there's not really much to see, but the bleed through is there. It's just kind of hard to see. So anyway, lovely print by Kaburaki Kyoka. Super happy to have a copy finally in my collection. Took a long time to get it. No, it was not cheap. I think I paid a decent amount of money for this print, but you know, there it is. You pay for what you want, and I really wanted to get this one, so I'm happy I have it. Let's see what else is in this book. Maybe there's some other art in here that we can take a look at. Sometimes Kyoka would do little inset images, but no, it appears not. So, and I'm not sure who designed the cover of this book. It doesn't look like Kyoka to me. The inside cover does, though, so I'm not sure. Not sure. This one here definitely looks like Kyoka to me. So, but I'm not sure about the outside cover. Anyway, lovely, lovely print. Very happy to own it. Let me set that off to the side. We will move on to the next print. I would love to hear your comments on this. Like, you know, what are your thoughts about this Kyoka print? Do you guys have any of this print in your collection? If you do, I'd be curious to know how long have you had it? When did you get it? Oh, this one is interesting. This one is a mistake. So I, like everyone else, I make mistakes from time to time, and I blew it on this one. So here's the print by, it's by Mizuno Toshikata, I believe, I'm pretty sure. And this is not the full print. I don't know how I fooled myself into thinking I needed this, because I didn't need it, but it was a mistake. I basically bought this print. It's a really lovely design. I actually do like the design, but unfortunately, it's not the whole design. There's actually part of the design comes further out the side over here. So this is essentially something to hang on the wall. It's not ever going to be resold. I'll probably just hang it on the wall of my, you know, house or something. Maybe I'll give it away as a gift to somebody. It is still a lovely woodblock print, and you know, it's a nice design. But yeah, it's barely worth discussing. But I made a mistake, and I make mistakes too, like everyone else. Thankfully, it was very inexpensive, but it was still a mistake I made. And yeah, so we all make errors. This is an error I made. It is a lovely design by Mizuno Toshikata. Like I said, the original design comes out a little further. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking on it because it's an embarrassment more than anything else. It is really a lovely design, though. It's just useless at this point. It's basically just garbage because it's not really worth anything to do with other than hanging it up on the wall. But then you're hanging up something that isn't even a full design, which is not really, yeah, I don't know what I'll do with this thing. It's probably just going to go in a junk pile because I'm not doing anything with it. I'm not going to sell it to someone else knowing that it's not even a whole design. So I will just take this and set it off to the side. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Thankfully, it was very inexpensive. This is an older product. I've had this since January. Oh my gosh. I've had this since January of 25. Is that correct? Can that be correct? Oh my gosh, is that possible? Hang on, let me look at this. Yes, it is. Oh my gosh, this has been here for a year and 2 months. Wow, let's see what I ordered, guys. Okay, I did kind of partially open this, so it'd be easy to get it out. I mean, no idea what's in here. Wow, I cannot believe this has been here that long. This has been waiting here for... Wow. Okay, let's see what I ordered. Oh, it has several pieces, actually. Okay, well, let's pull them out. Let me set that there. Let me make sure there's no other works in here. No. Okay, well, there's a few pieces to look at, so let me just separate them one by one. Let me put them underneath here. Okay, we'll just start with this one. Okay, this is the first print. This is a very lovely design, also by Mizuno Toshikata. Just lovely. Yeah, I really like this design. I think it's very pretty. And let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. The one thing about this design that I've always had a little bit of an issue with is that the face is very lightly printed. I mean, you can see just um, how tight the registration is for this face. I mean, that is extremely thin line, that face. And so some of the designs, if you're not very careful when you buy them, a piece of the nose can be missing, and it really ruins the whole face so easily. This is incredibly fine. This is a razor blade. Here you go. Here's a razor blade. Look at how similar. Look at that. Look how thin that is. This is like razor blade thinness, this thing. Unbelievable. So yeah, so really amazing, a beautiful print, and we have a long-haired beauty here who's in the who's outside of a house. So we have a little house here. We have the tree. It looks like a Japanese. I think they call it a miniature Japanese oak tree. Anyway, very pretty, beautiful little like shadow. The kind of shadow of the leaves here is very nice. We have some sort of bamboo or some sort of like plant that grows straight up like this. Again, Ray, you probably know what these are. I don't know what these are. But yeah, so we have like a screen here. We have the thatch of the roof, and then we have a beauty who's kind of looking back this direction, and she's kind of walking across this field or garden of foliage. And then she has a really beautiful dress, beautiful kimono. So several things I really love about this design. I think this design is very moody. So it has this kind of like they've done this kind of fading. It's called bokashi. So they do bokashi at the top here, which gives the whole scene a heaviness. We have a little more bokashi here in the background. There's more bokashi spread throughout. I think it's meant to have a moody, sort of a misty, foggy sort of vibe. That's the vibe I get from it anyway. What do you guys think? Do you see that too? Can you see like a little misty fogginess? When you come outside and it's like the mist is kind of rising off of stuff. I get that vibe here. I don't know if that was the intent, but that's definitely what I see. So we have a beauty here who is holding on to a beautiful fan, and she is walking away from this house. She's facing this direction. She's definitely walking this direction. We have a lovely kimono with this beautiful shades of blue. We go from the dark blue here to a nice baby blue, which is just a lovely effect. We have a little peak here of a red inner kimono. We can see the obi here, which is not the most beautiful obi. It's just kind of a dark rust red with green. It's got almost a Christmas tone to it. And then we have a little bit of a rope tassel here hanging off. It's kind of a rust orange. She's holding this fan, and what they've done, which is again really nice, is they've used blind printing to give a texture to the fan. See how they've done that right there? Really lovely, because it gives you that extra oomph. These are the things that really make woodblock prints pop, and that's why seeing them in person is so much different than seeing them in pictures, because you miss all these little subtleties, like seeing this. Sorry, it's hard to get that clear. Like seeing that little bit of blind printing, and that's the only spot that I can see it. They didn't do blind printing anywhere else. But yeah, just really lovely. And then we have the beauty's face. It's a little smudgy, but it's not terrible. The hair is very finely done here, and her hands are lovely, really well done. Mizuno Toshikata was seen as the great hope of ukiyo-e once Yoshitoshi was done. Yoshitoshi actually named him as like his successor, as the primary person bringing forth ukiyo-e. Mizuno Toshikata also taught Kaburaki Kyokata. So, the lineage of these fantastic, amazing artists is very clear, and they passed on such beautiful, lovely studies, I guess, or habits, tricks of the trade, artistic, sensibilities. It all passes through. But I love the long hair of this beauty. Typically when we see our prints that we've been looking at, the hair has been up in some sort of a hairdo, an updo, an S curve. There's all these names for it. But yeah, like the hair's been up. I love it when the hair's down like this. It gives such a nicer, more natural looking vibe. It definitely gives you the vibe of like someone who's like a little less made up, or maybe they designed to have their hair down. I mean, I don't know how many women actually wore their hair down at this period. Maybe a lot did, and we just don't know it because it was so much more popular and of the time to have your hair up in some sort of a hairstyle. But I love this hairstyle. I think it's really beautiful, and it's beautifully well done. So Mizuno Toshikata did a very nice job. Here is Mizuno Toshikata's signature here. Really nice, clean signature, nice, clean stamp. So yeah, just really lovely. We have a ring on the hand here. And that's it. That's all I'm going to cover on this one. It's a really nice print. We can see from the back here that there's lots of bleed through coming through. Yeah, that's all. Really nice print. And you know what's missing from this print, which I just noticed? There are no lines. This print was never in a book. So I don't know. It must have been. It must have come from the. Publisher, because it's not. It's not. There's no fold lines on it anywhere. So that's really interesting. I did not know that was going to be like that, but that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can find my book. I have my book here somewhere, I think. What did I do with it? Sorry, give me just a sec. Let me find my book, because I don't like to leave these prints just sitting around. Let me find the book. There it is. Okay. Sorry, let me stick this in here real quick, since we're here right now. No reason to come back to it. But yeah, just a really, really nice print. Lovely design. Nice that I got to share it with you guys. I totally forgot about these. I do remember them now that I'm seeing them, although I don't remember at all what else is supposed to be in this group. So, and it looks like there was, I don't know, I don't think I bought it as a group. I think I bought it as 3 separate things from one person, and they just sent them to me. They just sent them to me in one package, which is fine. He does combine shipping, which I super appreciate. Okay, let's see. What do I have here? Now let's do this one. Okay, this is our next print. I have no idea what this one's about. I don't know who the artist is even, but it is a really cool design, and actually it is signed. Oh, that's really interesting. Can you guys see that? It actually is. It looks like it might be signed right here. So actually, that's great, because in the image I didn't see the signature. Whatever this came from, it had some staining of some sort. All the prints had it. There's a whole bunch of prints in the market right now that all have this same sort of staining. I don't know what it's caused from or where it came from. But anyway, the book that they were in had some stains. So every print has a little bit of yellowing. I only went through and tried to pick the ones that I thought, the yellowing wasn't so bad that it was like ruinous to the design. Some of them definitely felt a little bit ruined by the coloring. This one, not so much. But anyway, because the characters are nice and clean, and I kind of love this design. It's a really strange design. So we have essentially a man. So we have a male figure here who's climbing up or climbing down, one or the other. I don't know which, but they're clearly climbing up or down this wall. Probably climbing up, I'm guessing, but who knows. But we have the man here. He's holding on to this beauty, and she is draped through his arm in this full arc. Like, this would not be an easy thing to carry somebody like this. I just can't even see him ever making it up this wall. And then to make matters even worse, we have a dog or something on the top up here. So we have a guy trying to carry a woman who weighs at least, let's say, 100 pounds, and he's going to try and carry her up this stone wall while there's a dog on top. This is a really menacing scene. I don't see this working out successfully for this guy. But I do love the work. I think it's really dramatic, The beauty is really well done. The fineness of this hair and stuff is really, really great. Let me see if I can move this over. Can you guys see that okay? Sorry, I'm trying to do my best here, but man, it's hard to get this light sometimes. How's that? See those thin lines? I mean, man, it's really well carved. Just really, really nicely done. Whoever did this did a really good job on the color, on the carving of the hair. The beauty is just kind of laid out here, but we have a beautiful kimono, really bright red and pinks. Love this design. And then we have a little bit of a different design here, which is also really lovely. I love that they've layered these two, really dynamic designs. As a matter of fact, there's 3 of them. The internal kimono, let's turn this a little bit. We have the benefit of being able to turn this around, although that's not really any better. But we have the benefit of turning this around so we can see these designs. Look at how lovely this kimono colors are. I mean, just like this light, this kind of darker green fading up to the light green, really lovely. And then it kind of continues down. We can see that it comes down in the back here as well. No, that's the water. Sorry, that's actually water. It's hard to tell, but that's the water. Sure looks similar in color. But anyway, then we have this red, and then it turns into this lavender purple along the sleeves. Super lovely. Now this, we lost a little bit here. So this is burnishing. This is tarnishing. So the ink here is tarnished. And unfortunately, the oxidation, we've lost this this kind of orangish pink of this, which I assume was part of her outfit, because I don't think it fits his. His is this bamboo-ish colored thing here in the back. We probably can tell something by this right here. I don't personally know what it means. The colors of the black and white remind me of the Chushingura, but I don't think that's what this is from. But it does remind me a little bit of the Chushingura. That's the 47 Ronin, the Tales of the 47 Ronin. It's called the Chushingura. Anyway, it does remind me of that, but not enough that I would say this is from that. And I don't recognize this as any scene from that either. But anyway, it's a really lovely print. I incredibly, very much so like this print. I'm glad I bought it. It was very inexpensive, like $50 or $60. But I love it. Excuse me. I do love it, though. We have a background here. We have some trees in the background. We have a little bit of a waterfall here for some sort of a ground effect that just, you know, for the state they're in. And then we have this wall here, which this gentleman, hopefully he's a gentleman, is trying to bring this beauty over the wall. One of the other things I want to show you is the hair here. Gosh, this is really hard to get a good, it's really hard to get a good look on these. I'm sorry about this. Let's see, maybe I can zoom this in more. Maybe that's better. Can you see his hair? His hair is burnished as well. Really nicely done too, but the hair is burnished. This guy's hair is, can you guys see a little bit of shine there? God, it's very hard to get this. But anyway, this hair is actually burnished here on this gentleman's face. Got a little bit of blue here, which means his head was shaved. Just, it's a really lovely face on this guy. They've done a great job, whoever this artist is. And I really like this piece. It's dynamic, you know. And again, for 50, 60 bucks or whatever I paid, I'm really happy to have it. It's not very large. It is on the smaller side. And it does have, this one does show a fold line. So I see the fold line in the center. So it was, you know, inserted into a book basically like this. But I don't recognize this at all, which is why I bought it. It's, let's see, it's 8 inches by, like, you know, 8 by 10. So it's a little bit short. Honestly, it's not off by that much. They're usually around 8.5 by 11. So it's only off by a half inch, you know, half inch to an inch on each side. Not terrible, you know, not really terrible. The whole design is here. And then, like I said, we actually do have a signature, which I did not realize was here, but I'm going to have to research it because I cannot tell what it is. It's very, very light. Any of you guys recognize this signature? I'm going to need to really look into it. I don't know. It's so faint. But it is there. But yeah, I'm going to have to try and see if I can figure that out or not. I haven't seen this design anywhere, but I really like it. I'm really glad I got it. At first, I thought that the guy was wearing a hat because of all the black up here. But no, it's just the sleeve in the background. I really love this. I think it's a great design. So anyway, happy to share it with you. The dog up here is really interesting. This, you know, look from below of this husky dog or whatever, really cool. Not as menacing as they probably meant it to be, but I really love it. I think this whole design is great. The back is backed and it's kind of crappy looking. It's got this, you know, kind of like I said, there's some kind of water damage, but luckily it doesn't do much damage to this particular print. I'm happy to have it with the damage. I've never seen it before anyway, so I don't think there's a whole lot of these designs out there, but just really cool. So glad I could share that with you. Let me stick it in my book real quick here. I'll try to figure out who this artist is. Now, one thing I'm doing different in this one, you guys will notice that I'm not putting all the information. I've decided I need to get more prints out there. I need to get more videos out. And the way I'm going to try and do that is I'm going to put all the information that I have into the description in the video. So if you want to see more information about this print or the other prints that I discuss in this video, you should look in the description. And the description for the video will feature the information that I'm able to find, okay? So this is a new way I'm doing it. I know it's not as easy or as smooth as you would prefer. It's not as smooth as I would prefer, but I hate the editing portion of doing these videos so much that it slows me down. And I don't want to make you guys wait a very long time because of me having to do it this way. So let's move on to the last print here for today. This is another print by Mizuno Toshikata, and this is a very lovely design. Really lovely. I don't have this design. I think it's really fantastic. It's just it's kind of dynamic, and yet it's still calm. It's a very calm print, but it is sort of dynamic in its own way. You have this beauty here who's clearly out working in the garden. She has like a garden hoe here, and she's sort of sitting in the garden next to this Buddha statue, which is just really beautiful. I mean, it's really well done. The whole thing is very relaxing. We have a bird flying through the sky here. We have some some blossoms in bloom on this tree right here, and then there's little bits of foliage around. She's wearing a beautiful headscarf, and she has like some bright reds and some pinks and some greens. It's just a really lovely design. I don't know anything about this design. I'm not sure what book it came from. It is by Mizuno Toshikata, as I said. Mizuno Toshikata, I give these artists a lot more time on earth sometimes than they actually had. Mizuno Toshikata is one of those. He was not a long-lived person, and he left behind a very nice catalog of work. He had a really great output. Let me see if I can give you guys a little bit of a close up on this here. But yeah, look at the face, so lovely, just really beautifully done. I wish I could get this to be a little brighter. But yeah, he just did a great job. You have the Buddha's face, very clear. Why is it wearing this pink thing? I don't know, but I really like it. It gives a nice pop of color on the Buddha. We have the Buddha, holding on to this. He's got something in his hand here. It's just very well done. The details are all here. He's holding onto the staff, which is a traditional staff that I've seen other Buddhists carry. I don't know what it means, but that's common. Comes down, he has the robes coming down. He's coming out of a lotus blossom at the bottom right here, which you can see. And then it's sort of like like on top of just a display, like an outdoor statuary display, like a stand. And then she's just taking a rest. So you have this beauty who is clearly out working in the garden, and she's just taking a rest next to this beautiful statue. She's sort of reclining. She's like leaning against the steps. And it's interesting in a way because she is not here to look at the beauty of this statue. She's just working here in the garden, and she's resting nearby. So it's kind of an interesting take on, not like a little bit taken back from worshiping, because there's no idol worshiping going on here. She is simply just taking a break from her household duties, or from the duties of upkeeping this garden she's working in. And, I just love it. It's just kind of relaxed. She's just kind of chilling there. It's nothing, it's not dynamic, and yet it is beautiful and dynamic in its own way. We have a little bit of coloration in the sky, which you can see running through the back. I think we're leaning towards dawn. So it's like early morning and the sun is about to rise. That's the feeling I get from this print. I don't know what you guys feel. You can let me know your thoughts on this. But I do think that it definitely has a feeling of sun about to rise, like right before sunset. Although it's an interesting time of day to be out working in the garden that early, but I guess to each their own. We have a lovely background here. There is a little bit of waterway, it looks like here. So we're kind of near a little bit of a pond, maybe. Just a lovely garden scene. Again, we have this, we have a little bit of burnishing. So there's a little bit of burnishing here on her kimono, or outer kimono along the top right here. And that's it for the burnishing. Can you guys see that right there? It's a little bit of like shine. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's there. You guys see that? But anyway, face is lovely. And they've done an interesting thing here where they put this green. I don't know if you guys can see this little speckles of lime green here. They do that to make it look antiquated. They've done a good job here because you can see it, and it has a general vibe of giving that appearance. It's some down here at the bottom as well. Just these little speckles of green to give antiquity. I love it. I think they do a really great job with that. And then you have this hoe here. which is like a tool to like work in the garden. And then you have Mizuno Toshikata's signature here at the bottom with the seals. Again, nice and clear, clean copy, which is great. That's about it. I don't really have much else to add here. This was clearly from a book. We have the sorry, it goes this way actually, but we have the creases that's clearly evident. So it was creased into a book at some time. But yeah, just really lovely. There's not a lot of bleed through, but you can clearly see it. I mean, you can see the bleed through, especially in the thicker areas, the burnishing of the black, the blue that's very dark right here, and this red and a little bit of here. Otherwise, not a lot of bleed through, a little bit on this, the outline of this oak here, or maple, I mean. Sorry, I mean maple. I mean, I don't know what it is, whatever this thing is. Anyway, there you go. We have the bird here. Didn't focus on the bird too much. We have a single bird flying through the sky. Just a really lovely design. I happen to really like this design. This is the first copy I've had in my collection, but I really love it. Ray, I'm curious if you have this design. I'm sure you probably did, but I don't know if it's common or not. So anyway, that is going to be it for today. I'm going to wrap it up. I've tapped my 55-minute video. This one should come out fairly quicker because I'm not going to do all the additions of the editing. I will do an image of the cover, an image for the for the video in general, and I will add the little bits of information, but I'm not doing a full edit. So so if you want information about this video, please go to the description, and that I'll put what information I can find about each of those prints. As we went through them, I'll put the information in the description. And if you want to know what prints are, from what book, if I can find the information. Okay, that's it. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thank you for checking out my video. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. Like and subscribe. I'm up to 78 subscribers right now. I'm trying to get to 80, so I'm 2 away. If you watch my videos and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. That would be awesome. And that's it. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.